Hello, hello, hello. FPL managers, welcome to FPL Jedi show deadline stream. We are now in game week 36 and we are looking at the big double game week for this week. Would like to welcome Azmin. How are you, brother?
Okay, selamat hari raya. Hope everyone had some good time with festivities. Of course, let's not forget we still have 3 more weeks for the season, so let's get into it.
Yep, as you can see, both myself and Azmin is wearing baju Melayu for today. We are in Hari Raya mood, but we should not forget FPL show must go on. We have game week 36 on the card right now. So let's jump straight into it. As we can see, is a big double game week 36 where 12 teams will play twice this week. We just run through a bit the fixture for this week. Starting at 10 p.m. tonight, there will be 4 fixture: Brentford versus Southampton, Burnley versus Aston Villa, Chelsea versus Wolves, and then Crystal Palace versus Watford. And then at 12:30 a.m., Brighton versus Manchester United. We didn't have the big game for this week, which is Liverpool versus Spurs, which is at 2:45 a.m. I believe Azmi will wake up this morning to see this match. And then we have on Sunday, 9 p.m., Arsenal versus Leeds United, Leicester versus Everton, and Norwich versus West Ham. And then we end the Sunday on at 11:30 p.m. with Man City, who has been exited out from Champions League semi-final match against Newcastle. And then on the other side are midweek matches where 12 teams will play twice. Aston Villa versus Liverpool, Leeds United versus Chelsea, Leicester versus Norwich, Watford versus Everton, and Wolves versus Man City before we close another London derby match, Spurs versus Arsenal. So we have two big match for this week, man. Game week 36.
Yeah, so it's a really packed schedule, obviously, and no doubt some of these players, like Muhammad Salah, Mane, kita, us, Paul Pogba, are all supposed to be celebrating Hari Raya, but that's it. It's done. We still have to get back to it. They're probably not gonna get any more extended Hari Raya leave, so we're into it. If Muhammad Salah and Mane were playing at the Champions League, which was like a day after Hari Raya, so we also need to get into it.
Okay, mate. Just a glance through our team news later, especially is very crucial to all managers to ensure that they capture the double game week players. We can see that the 12th team will be the most target by managers. So let's jump straight into the big one first, man, for this week. Liverpool versus Spurs. What's the
Ooh.
latest news for both teams?
So as we know, Liverpool managed to qualify for the finals of the Champions League. Um, but the good thing coming out that match, where the Premier League is concerned, that there were no new injuries, so everyone seems to be fine. So we do know that Roberto Firmino is still out. Apparently, he is training again, but I doubt he'll be risked. So, which is good for Liverpool. So we should be able to field a good squad. Bearing in mind that the finals of the Champions League is a few days after the last game of the season, so that means for these we shouldn't have to worry too much. Having said that, there is a threat of rotation. For example, for Sadio Mane and Robertson, who, if I remember correctly, have now started 6 matches in a row. Compared to others, the likes of Salah, who have had at least some rest. So I suspect that Robertson might be given, may not play 2 games, for example. And I can see him being rested for Simikazu, who is is a ready-made replacement. Having said that, for the first match, which is against Spurs, I can see Liverpool will probably still field their strongest lineup, and that
Yep.
strong lineup will probably be at the back, which is TA, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson. So those 4 should all stay, and the front 3, at least for FPL purposes, should all stay, which is Salah, Mane, and Diaz. So those should all start
So
for
you
this
won't
one.
expect Jota to start this game, man?
It's tough. Yeah, I'm not confident, especially when I have Jota myself. But it's quite an important game for Liverpool as they continue to chase. And but Jota as a sub is still good, so I'm not too worried. He does have a chance to he can make an impact as a sub. We although let's be fair, Spurs haven't been great in the past few matches. But we shouldn't Liverpool shouldn't underestimate them. Um, so they did win the last match against Leicester, although let's be fair, Leicester have been distracted by Europe. But we should still see a full strength lineup for Liverpool. For Spurs, again, Reguilon is not available, so he joins the Doherty, in terms in terms of the injuries. So other than that, no one else in terms of FPL purposes is concerned. So we know that Kulusevski was benched last week, so it was quite alarming for those of us who had Kulusevski. However, Spurs were bad until he came in, so I expect him to return to the starting lineup.
Yep, I think this is the big match that we are looking forward. A lot of managers definitely wants to triple up in Liverpool asset. The likes of TA and Salah has their rest against Newcastle previous week. And as you mentioned, there could be another rotation, especially on Robertson. A lot of managers are mentioning him, who expected to be rested the next game against Villa. That is where they are thinking. But we still expect the stronger side against Spurs tonight, man.
Yep.
Which is Matip should return into the lineup, and also the rest should be played. It's a toss of coin between Diaz or Jota. I do think that Jota will start, but it's just between those two. Yep, that what I feel. In terms of Spurs, Kane and Son, who has a lot of managers own them, I think they will continue to play. I just
Of course.
Son, who is actually more informed right now, better than Kane. So people are a bit itchy to get Son in instead of a bit replacing Kane to Son. But there's another conversation whether you are interested on that. Okay, but Spurs do have two tough fixture, so-called on paper this week, which is against Liverpool, away to Liverpool, and then home to Arsenal. It's a big one for Spurs also, mate. Let's go to the next one, which is another big match in terms of Man City. They've been defeated against Real Madrid, a short defeat in midweek. They are out from Champions League final, but they're still on the run to win this league if they win all their games in hand. So, particularly in Man City and Newcastle, Cam, what's the latest news?
So we were, yeah. So the team news was pretty short in terms of the press conference, at least the ones that it hasn't been embargoed. Um, of course, those of us who may have had KDB, we know that he played in against Real Madrid, but was one of the early substitutions, and however, apparently he was quite bad, and that's why he was substituted off. Unfortunately, City ended up losing the match. One thing to highlight for those of you who haven't really followed the Champions League is that City played 120 minutes in Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. So it's quite a cause of concern, especially for those who we think might be rotated. We know that Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva, uh, they played 120 minutes.
Yep.
So in terms of the attack, they were the two. In terms of attacking players, those were the ones who played the most. Everyone else was either subbed in, or came off. For example, like Gabriel Jesus started but was subbed off, whereas people like Mahrez came in instead. Yeah, so it does create a bit of a tough issue in terms of the substitutions. Where injury is concerned, really is Walker, who joins the likes of Stones in terms of being sidelined. Uh, while we cannot we are certain now that people like Jesus, who's in such good form, so he's a regular starter, so I strongly expect that he will continue to start. um but I'm not sure about Foden, because at least Jesus was subbed off, whereas Foden played all the way. um and they do play Newcastle United, who are not exactly the easy pushovers nowadays. So, but I think I can see that if where possible, Pep Guardiola will still play his full strength lineup. Now they don't have to worry about the Champions League. Sadly enough for them, but it is what it is. Um, so for Walker, we may see, I don't know, we may see Zinchenko coming in, or maybe Ake.
Yep.
Yeah. So on the Newcastle side, okay, so we know that Wilson has a good chance of making the squad. However, um, that means that he'll just be on the bench. He not so we definitely expect Chris Wood to continue starting. Um, Sadly, Fabian Shah hasn't trained as mentioned there, but he apparently he hasn't been ruled out. I think that'll be frustrating because um, for those of us, because he has been quite a good player recently, but except for the last match where he was subbed off because he looked like he was getting an injury. But at the same time, Newcastle are one of those teams that do not have a double game week this week. Unfortunately, Manchester City do, but Manchester City's second match, which is against Wolves, uh, you can definitely see some um, rotation there, because simply because of the depth or quality of players.
Yep. So just to highlight that, concerning on KDB, a lot of media thinking what is going on, especially KDB withdrawal in Champions League. Pep Guardiola has confirmed is more to technical rather than injury. So that's something that to be taken note that this is what Pep mentioned. KDB is fine. It's not injured or anything that related to his health. So they're definitely a differential pick this week, man. If you're thinking about Man City, KDB, I think with the 70-minute play, I feel KDB could actually play for both games. This is the one that I think the most targeted in terms of playing.
Yeah. So it depends, because I didn't really watch the first part of the match, and apparently he was, according to what I've read by comments from Twitter and Facebook, is that he was just really really bad
Okay.
during the match, and that's why he was substituted off. But it's an off day for him, so I wouldn't be too worried. He's a
Yep. Yep.
quality
Yep.
player. Yeah.
Yep, I think so. I have my eye on him, KDB, to bring in this week. And with this statement, I'm more inclined to bring him in if Pep already cleared that it's not injury related. We talk our team
Okay.
about our team later. The next one
I
also
wait. Hang on.
oh, not yet. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, I just wanted to highlight. So there's some concern. Okay, obviously ASM is a FPL asset, and there were concerns that apparently he made some comments to the media in terms of how, if other players were helping,
Hmm.
were doing more to help him, or or finalize. What was the term? Finishing off the opportunities that he gives them. So apparently, from what I read, he was forced to apologize for his teammates for saying that, as if he's the only quality player in the attack. Uh, so he was, what he said is, the day I have a player who can finish moves, I'm going to create seasons with 10 to 15 assets and dimensions of opportunities in people's heads. So that's really, it's like telling people that the squad isn't good enough for him. So he was forced to apologize. But they
Is
did
this KDB?
have
Is
a
it
face to
KDB?
face.
Is it
Sorry, pardon?
KDB statement? Is it?
No. Alan Saint Maximin, ASM.
Oh, ASM. Okay, ASM. Right.
ASM. Yeah. So Alan Saint Maximin. So, but apparently they did have a Eddie Howe's a good man management person, so apparently they had a discussion and face
Okay.
to face with the other players. So I think they'd be fine. This could be a catalyst for them to do well. I don't know. So, but yeah, but I wouldn't worry about ASM not making the starting lineup.
Yep, yep. It's a bit also interesting match. Only Man City will double this week anyway. So we go to the next one, Arsenal versus Leeds, main. Okay, there'll be much more attention also to Arsenal, I said. But Leeds also has double game week this week, main.
Yeah.
We are concerned. We can see that Ben White being pictured there because he's missed last game against West Ham. So what's the latest news for both teams?
Right. So as mentioned, Ben White is, according to Arteta, he is contention. So it's just not whether or not he trains. Everyone's okay, meaning that the likes of Tierney and Partey is still out. Um, from what we can see, I know there's concerns with those of us who had went for Nketiah, but then Arsenal have just been doing really well with Nketiah at the lineup, and he's just, even when he's in the bench, Lacazette doesn't come on very well either, because because the special dynamics is Nketiah does really well in that setup. Of course, the difference is that for this week is that the possibility of changes in lineup is possible because Arsenal have a double game week. So Arsenal will also play on um, Thursday. Yeah.
Yep.
So uh, who do they play? I can't remember.
Space. They play Spurs for
Spurs,
top four.
okay, which is the London Derby. Yeah, it's North London Derby, which is, obviously there's a lot at stake there, especially uh, ego, and so there's an additional
Yeah,
incentive
and
there.
also a top four spot, man. There's a stake there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the how it's shaping now is that suddenly it's become a real challenge for the top four spot, between, and Arsenal and Spurs are the main contenders for it, and but let's face it, even that the Chelsea are not exactly secured in that third spot. For all they might still, either team might still manage to chase if Chelsea continue to fall. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the challenge here. But of course, ultimately this is the match that they need. Both sides will need to win. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
for Leeds United, yeah. So the worry is that the likes of Ben White, if they feel that it's important for him to play the Spurs match, then he might not play this Leeds match. Yeah. Having said that, Leeds, they still want to win this Leeds match. For the Leeds match, um, I don't think there's many changes. Patrick Bamford still isn't ready to return, and unfortunately, the likes of Stuart Dallas is still out. So other than that, there is a bit of concern that Jesse March might still make a few changes, given that they didn't do too well. They haven't been doing too well, and but what concerns me with Leeds is that they are also still um, at threat from being relegated. They are currently at the 17th spot. Yeah, and they've played an extra game than Leeds, than Everton. So we probably won't see any serious rotation. So the likes of Rafinha, Harrison, Rodrigo will still start. Yeah, I'm not sure about James because he has been off form, but yeah, James could start if they need the results, if they feel that
Okay.
they
While you're mentioning that, I think this match is actually crucial for both teams. Arsenal
yeah.
want to top four, and Leeds are actually concerned about their relegation. They really in that battle between Burnley and also Everton. They could easily start into that bracket if they are not careful this week. We know Leeds have two tough match. which is actually against Arsenal and also Chelsea this week. So which Arsenal and Chelsea are also desperate for points.
Yeah. So Leeds and Arsenal both have double game weeks, and yeah, if you had Leeds, Rafinha is probably the only best pick that you have
Yeah,
because he is
yeah,
capable of performing. And
yeah.
there's a lot of rumors now that he's being looked at, scouted by bigger teams. So it may also be in his best interest to do well. So that will motivate him.
Okay, we go to the next match. We've been talking about Chelsea. Now we preview Chelsea versus Wolf. There are also a lot of concern from FPL manager in terms of security of minutes of Chelsea. I said, as we know, they will play FA Cup final somewhere next week, and whether they should hold Chelsea asset, which has been frustrating of late, man. So, what's the latest news for both teams?
So there's a lot of theories now about what's going on with Chelsea, and one of the areas that's been bandied about is the fact that about their futures, because there's a lot of off-field talk going on, about the club, uh, Roman Abramovich seemingly now wanting money, for his club to be sold, and this will might end up causing the club to end up not being able to play next season. So a lot of things. Of course, this is a very dynamic situation and things may change. But it is making us worry for those of us who have Chelsea assets, and I think that those of us who don't have Chelsea assets are probably a bit worried about bringing on a new Chelsea asset. So that's a bit
Uh,
of
I-
background
yeah, if
concern.
you don't have any Chelsea asset, I don't think we advise them to bring him this week, right?
Yeah, it is a bit of concern. They may well perform, but then it's they haven't been doing well in the past few. And finishing wise, they've been bad. Yeah. So we were worried that in game week 35 that Tuchel wouldn't rotate, would rotate because they did badly, but then he didn't really rotate. He still played the likes of Mount, Havertz, James, Alonso. So they all played. But in terms of injuries, just only those as mentioned in the tweet, which is Kante and Jogi and Hudson Odoi and Chilwell. So so that midfield is the worry, I guess, with Kante and Jorginho out. That midfield isn't as solid as it could be, and that is one of the reasons that's leading to the lack of uh, results for Chelsea.
Yep,
So the question is, will Lukaku come in? I don't know what you think, Hafiz, because
yep.
clearly Lukaku is not favored by Tuchel, but will
Yep.
he now come in? So that Chelsea, for
It,
a change.
uh, yep, it's tough, but I actually followed Tuchel press conference yesterday, and
Mm,
he actually hinted that Lukaku might start this game. So we're definitely unsure of that. But Tuchel did mention that Lukaku need to make it happen. It means that Tuchel sees that Lukaku need to show him the desire or the thing that he should be picked ahead of Havertz. So that's where the hint there. Tuchel really are not still expect a lot more from Lukaku before he can be filled in as the first 11. That what I feel. But
mm,
he has hinted that Lukaku might start this game. So I'm not too sure.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that certainly puts the likes of myself who have Havertz. I think you still have Havertz, right, Hafiz?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a worry, and I think that you know he was poor the previous game and was subbed off early when Chelsea needed a goal, and then for the last game he still didn't score either. And Everton, it was an upset win, and Everton will go off with it really really happy because it puts them in a strong position for the to survive relegation with an extra match. Okay, quickly for Wolves. So we know that Kilman and Semedo are out for the season. Podence isn't ready. I don't think he'll make it. Um, um, so I think that's pretty much it. They may make changes. They did badly against Wolves. And
Wolves against Brighton, they
sorry,
lose at
Brighton
home.
against Brighton. Yeah.
They lose
So,
at home to Brighton 3-0. So that's
so
a concern. Yep.
but Wolves
So,
are just in pretty much bad form at the moment, and
yep,
you
yep,
could
yep.
argue that they're no longer interested because they're already safe. Yeah, I
Yep.
mean even like Jimenez, if he's who's just been poor, so anything might change there. But we're not looking for any Wolves asset at
Okay.
this point, are we?
Definitely no love for Wolves asset this week. They do double this week, but it's against Chelsea and Man City.
Yeah,
So there is a tough one. Wolves definitely, as you mentioned, is on bad run. I
yep.
don't know if you have Jose Za, there's a lot of managers still have him. I think you just play him and try your luck. I do think so. I don't think you should make a goalkeeper transfer. I don't know how about
No,
you, mate?
yeah, we just but yeah, I agree. We're not gonna consider, but if you can only you should only consider if you feel really really good about the rest of your team. All have double, especially if you're already set up and have double game players for your rest of your squad. Then yeah, go ahead and change your keeper. Otherwise, keep it.
Yeah. Quick question from Rakan MPL about we are talk about Havertz. Keep or sell Havertz if with FA Cup final on the horizon. If you ask me, I have him. I think Azmi have him. I will sell him this week. I've been frustrating asset. So to whom I should change him, I will later come back to my team later. How about you, man? A quick
Uh,
answer.
Based on what you've told me, Hafiz, I'm now pretty confident that Lukaku will start, and this week and this weekend, and if Lukaku does manage to score in this game week, then in the first match, then I'm confident that he'll continue to start in the second game. So
All
so
right.
for, so for me, yeah, it's a sell. I'm looking for to looking for a way to sell him as well. I'm looking at my options.
Okay. All right. Next game, man. Brentford versus Southampton. Both team are not playing double this week. But
Yeah.
what's the latest news for both team?
So quickly, Brentford had an off day against against Manchester
Manchester
United.
United.
Yeah, and lost 3-0. But I don't think it will worry too much in terms of the lineup. I think Thomas Frank will still play his first choice lineup as they look to finish the season on a high. So it mentions there Pinnock, Canos, So probably maybe Frank will give opportunities in terms of substitutions rather than in the starting lineup. So Southampton, no serious issues except for Livramento, and they didn't get any more new injuries. So I'm sure some of you may still have Livramento simply because he's a filler. Um, so that probably means you're not gonna, you have enough players for the double game week anyway. Yeah, because you're
Yep.
not. But of course, if you still have him, I don't know. You can probably still afford with a few you Fofana, for example, who will
Yep.
play.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
but other than that, we're not considering any assets from here. We
Yep. I'm still stuck with Broja, man. So I think I might start him until the end of season.
okay.
Okay, next one, Burnley versus Villa. Villa do have double, okay, and but against Burnley and Liverpool later in the midweek. So what's the latest for both team?
Right. So Burnley, I think Max Cornet is the for me is quite uh, key. So apparently he's been out. Well, he says he's been out on the grass, so that means he's been training. I don't know if that means he's been training with the team. Yeah, it's because because we have Eric Peters looking really good trained all week. You see how different it is. So Max Cornet has been out on the grass with us today. Whereas Peters all week and looking really good. So he may still play. So, but he'll probably be on the bench at least. And then that's Burnley, although they did win, but they have Everton um, on their necks at the moment. And Everton have an
Yep,
extra game to play. So let's
yep,
say
yep,
Everton win the extra game, then they'll go above Burnley and Leeds. So it's not safe for Burnley either. So they still need to win this.
yep.
So for Villa, so Ramsey suddenly gets an injury in training. I think quite a few of us
Mhm.
may have Ramsey because he's cheap and a nice enabler and a regular starter. So I'm not sure how that changes. Maybe well, I'm not familiar with the extra people in there because the likes of Buendia should start.
Yep.
Coutinho,
He
unless
could get his chance. Yep.
yeah, he may go for 4-4-2 again and go for Ings together with Watkins up top. Yeah, but we know that Watkins is one of the informed players at the moment, and it's
Yep.
frustrating that Coutinho still isn't clicking. He hasn't
Yep.
produced.
He did not do anything last week, I mean. Yep.
Yeah, so Aston Villa and both teams have both teams have a double match. Yeah, although Aston Villa's second match is against Liverpool. Um, so I don't sorry Burnley don't have a double match, but Aston Villa do.
Yep.
Burnley's double match is in game week 37, isn't it? Yeah,
Yep.
it's in game week
So
37.
Villa actually have double lah. They call it
Yeah.
36 and 57.
So yeah, so we want Villa, of course. Villa who did win last game week, but it wasn't a big win, and it was against
Norwich. Yep.
Norwich. Yeah, so they did win, but it was against Norwich where they expected to win. Um, but of course, even though the second match is against Liverpool, we would still keep our Aston Villa assets.
Yep. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Crystal Palace versus Watford. Watford do double, and there's some interest in Watford player, especially on bench boost this week. I know you're bench boosting this week.
Yeah, so I have Dennis, but let's face it, Watford are almost dead in the water at the moment. So,
Yep. If
Matt,
they lose this game, they are definitely relegated, right?
yeah, and Palace are no pushovers at home. Palace are really really strong. I think, I honestly feel this is the match that will relegate Watford because Palace at home are just very very solid. Palace, of course, don't have a double game week, so um, so we probably not likely to consider, especially when there are a lot of other double gamers there. On the Watford side, yeah, don't bring in a Watford player for the double game week if you're looking to bring a new double game week player. I have Dennis and I have Foster, and for
Yep.
me, I'm bench boosting. But if you're on a free hit, don't bring Watford player in. It's just hard. I don't see them doing anything, and it's sad. I have a soft spot for Watford. Watford they play Everton in the second game, so it might be of interest. Um, Even though they might get relegated, but who knows? Maybe Watford once they relegated, they might put up a better fight and try to drag Everton down with them. It is possible.
Okay. All right, mate. Let's go to the next one. Brighton versus Manchester United. We know that Manchester United, especially Ronaldo, has been in scoring form. So what's the latest for both team?
So quickly for Brighton, pretty much everyone important is still there, except for those mentioned in the tweet. So we know that Mope hasn't been starting because Welbeck has been in good form, so I expect that to still continue. McAllister seems to be further forward than Trossard of late. I know that Trossard previously played as a false nine, but I think McAllister was listed as could be someone to consider. Manchester United, yep. So apparently Harry Maguire will be back. So will that mean that he'll start? He is, I believe, still the club captain. So,
Yep.
but Manchester United have been in decent form. So I'm not sure whether or not he'll immediately go back into the lineup. I suspect he will be though.
Yep. There's not much interest of both assets because
No.
they are only play single game week. And just to remind, next week Manchester United will blank. They will not play game. So if you have
Yeah.
any Manchester United asset, I think this is definitely a game week to
Yeah.
take out and bring in the double game week players.
Yeah. So last week they played their last match at Old Trafford. Yeah. So the last two matches will be away. So definitely we're not looking at them at all. And and
Yep.
and I and I do feel that if you have the likes of Ronaldo, you might want to sell him for a double game week player.
Yep. Of course, we go to Leicester versus Everton. Leicester also has been defeated in terms of semi-final match at Europe Conference League against Roma. So I'm not too sure about what their condition. I just snapshot here. News from Scout. And then Leicester versus Everton. Everton has much more interest in terms of managers for assets for this week, mean, because they do double and they do also double next week. So what's the latest news?
So for Leicester, we know that they got knocked out of the um, conference. So it's sad, but
Yeah,
it's must
it is
happen.
that.
So we yeah, so good
I think like English club, right? City, Leicester, and West Ham
West
all
Ham all got
semi-finals.
knocked out in the semi-finals, leaving.
It's sad, sad.
It's okay. Liverpool will carry the flag. But it's interesting for the likes of Everton now. So um, the thing is, if Leicester had won, then you would think that Leicester are gonna save a bit of the team to face Everton. But now that's not gonna happen because they don't have any more nothing to save. So it is about finishing strongly against in the rest of the league. Leicester are on 41 points, so they pretty much safe from relegation. So, but they're not likely to go into the any Europe spots either. So uh, yeah, they're not.
Yep.
So it's really about motivation, isn't it? So we know that Jamie Vardy played 90 minutes, and I feel that that was one of the key mistakes for Rodgers trusting Vardy to go back into form quickly after a long injury. I mean, he did play in the first leg as well. I feel that Rodgers made that mistake of over relying too much on Vardy again. Uh, so as a result, I don't see Vardy starting this one. So definitely we can see Nacho coming. We don't know he play together with Daka like he did in the last game. Not sure. Yeah, but I can see the likes of Madison and um, Nacho and Barnes all starting this match. I don't think they have anything to worry about anymore. Leicester do have a double as well. Yeah, so it's all about them wanting to finish strongly in the league. Leicester double in Leicester are like Aston Villa. They double in both 36 and 37. Yeah,
Yep.
so that's where we at. So moving to Everton now. Everton uh, are coming off a big win against Chelsea, and Everton are also having a game week 36 and 37. It's just that we haven't really trusted them to deliver. They've always failed on delivering and we when we didn't expect them to deliver against Chelsea, they suddenly did. But other than that, in terms of team news, yeah, pretty much okay. Those of us who have Richarlison, yeah, who's the man in form
A
for
lot of
Everton.
managers bring in Richardson this week, man.
Yeah, so he does seem to be the person that we that is in good form. So and I don't know, even Pickford had a great game against Chelsea, yeah, but I wouldn't trust him anyway.
Yep, yep. So I think this we know Everton has been strong at home, man, but they have two away games this week against Leicester and
Mm.
Watford. So I'm not too sure on their away form. Their home form is a bit different. So, but Richardson is the one. Yep,
Yeah. So question by for Fofana a good punt? Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, he's clearly one of the stronger
yep.
in the defense. So and his price, yeah, I think you definitely want to bring him in. And there's just one more by Raka IPL. Barnes him in and out from Rogers 11. I think if you have him, you might as well keep him.
I think
He,
so.
yeah, and he Barnes is one of those players who can make an impact from the bench. Even if he doesn't start, let's say if when Leicester need a goal, and if Barnes is on the bench, he'll be one of the first players that will come in, and he's got that mentality of always looking to score as well.
Just to mention, Leicester do have favorable game week this week, man. Both at home against Everton and Norwich.
Yeah,
So that's another
yeah.
things to.
So for me, I'm definitely looking at a Leicester asset to replace Mr. Kai Havertz. It really is just about that recovery time, But I wouldn't worry if you bring in Barnes or Madison. Either one could,
Yep.
be benched and come in. So I definitely
I
like
think
my.
those two will definitely the managers are interested to bring in this week. just try your luck. You definitely there is rotation risk, but you never know, right? Okay, I think Norwich versus West Ham. Okay, is this yes? This is the last preview game for this week. Norwich versus West Ham. Like we mentioned, West Ham actually knocked out from the semi-final. Not sure about their morale right now. Okay, they have tough match. Even Cresswell has been sent off, and even David Moyes has been sent off because kicking ball to a ball boy. So Norwich has been relegated. I'm not too sure about their motivation also. So what's the
Yeah.
latest?
So we're not sure about the motivations on both sides, honestly, because even now West Ham have been knocked out as well. They West Ham are on 52 points. Uh, at the most they can overtake Manchester United, but that's about it. So they may end up at sixth spot. Yeah. So is that good enough for them to want to do well? But sixth spot, I should they could it would end up in a Europe spot actually. So
Yep,
so they could
Europa
still,
League conference at
yeah.
least.
Yeah, so the motivation for West Ham is still there, and after a disappointing defeat to Frankfurt, uh, at least everyone, they didn't have any injuries falling out of that. So the likes of Antonio Bowen are still fine. Now, where Norwich is concerned, yeah. So I don't know. I think those of us who still have Timu Puki may probably want to keep him. He is sadly the only attacking person who has delivered returns for Norwich, and they do. And let's face it, Norwich do have a double game. So
Yep,
if you still have Timo Puki, you might as well just keep him.
yep. I think you keep him. Not sure on visiting. Maybe there are other assets to bring in if let's say you do that. So that's the interest, especially for Norwich is only Pookie, not the rest. And West Ham is no love for this week either.
Yeah.
So we shall see. Yep.
The thing is West Ham. Craig Dawson is fine. Okay, because he was banned uh, last game week, but he's back. So the with Zuma also around, so West Ham now have a good centre back pairing back again after having that problem previously.
Okay,
Then
man.
then yeah.
Let's go to the top transfer this week, man. We just have a look what our managers are thinking this week. The top transfer for this week is Jesus, man. I think last week also Jesus on top. Jesus again on top this week with 246,000 managers. Bring him in. So a lot of managers have faith on Jesus to start this week, at least. Then Nikitia, okay, the 5.5 million cheap enabler up front, but do start for Arsenal. They do double this week. 243,000, slight lower than Jesus, but not that far. Then Richarlison at 220,000. A lot managers has bring him in, even though there has been yellow flag there because concerns by Lampard in terms of his ankle, sore ankle, so called. And then Alonso also manages bringing him in, okay, at 142,000, and then Gordon and Embler in midfield for Everton who do double this week, 139,000. We have a look at top transfer out. Ben Whiteman, he actually did not play last week, but he has a chance to play this week. But I'm not sure whether he plays both games.
Yeah.
152,000 managers. Then Tony out. He has not been performing of late. Kane out. I think a lot of managers are finding Kane for a different asset, especially some who was on fire. Broja, yes, please transfer him out. Okay, 120,000 has do so. Okay, and Regular, who actually we are not sure about his fitness, 109,000 managers brought him out. So what do you think about this traffic this week? Do you agree with these transfers?
Yeah, so I guess the worry about Kane is that he does play Liverpool, but his second match is against Arsenal, and I mean Kane can score against Liverpool. I'm not gonna, it's
Yep.
just about the supply line, isn't it? He is a threat. But it looks like Kane is being sold for Gabriel Jesus, isn't he?
I think
So
so.
yeah, because well, either that or they're looking for more money in midfield, but then you don't see any big purchases in midfield. There's three forward top, which is Jesus, Nketiah, Richarlison, and let's face it, all five current options in the top transfers are all having double game weeks. So there's a lot of interest in maximizing our double game week players. In terms of transfers out, yeah, so yeah, it is a worry why he might only play one match. For me, it wasn't a reason to take him out because he's cheap anyway. I, but I guess it depends on the team. Roger, I'm not surprised. uh, yeah, Tony. The thing is, Tony could still do well against Southampton. Yeah, Brentford at home. They could really, really whack Southampton. So, if I had Tony, I would keep him. Yeah, even if they only play one match. Yeah, Southampton showed that if they don't have the right motivation, they can really buckle. And with Tony Mbuemo being fed by the likes of Ericsson, I think they could really trash Southampton here. Yeah, Reguilon. So anyway, the issue with Spurs right now is that can they really do well for the rest of the season? Obviously they won in the last match, so we don't know if they can keep it up. Considering the two tough matches, yeah. But Spurs against Arsenal, let's face it, anything can happen. Can it?
Yep.
Yeah, can
Yep.
easily. It could easily be a high scoring. So I'm still quite surprised that people sold Kane.
Yep. We shall see. I have also Kane. I'm thinking to bring him out also, man. We'll see later.
So what does that mean? You want to keep Havertz?
We shall see later. Okay. So we go captain pick for this week. Just a glance. Okay,
Mm.
what our managers are thinking. Oh, sorry. These are the scout picks for this week, man. I just see a lot of managers are definitely thinking about three assets from Man City, which is Cancelo, Laporte, and KDB. Okay, that could be differential in terms of Liverpool. TAA and Salah is the favorite one to make it the final team for this week. Schmeichel in goal. He's been performing of late, especially Leicester. He's definitely not prone to rotation. We have Alonso there. Okay, he has been scoring back to back before Everton. Okay, and then Kulusevski and Saka. I'm not sure about Kulusevski. Okay, but Saka definitely on form. They play Leeds and also Spurs this week. And then up front, Iketia and also Richarlison. Those are the so-called team template for this week, man. And if you're on bench boosting, Foster, Holgate, Dewsbury Hall, and Pookie on benches, not bad, man.
Yeah. I think it's, but I think Dewsbury Hall didn't play last game week, did he? But I guess that was for the Europa, and he probably returned for the lineup. Yeah, it's a pretty strong lineup. I guess the question mark is the KDB thing, but because he was pretty bad, but yeah, I would have him. No
Okay.
no no changes
Yeah,
for
if
me.
you're not like Hall, I think Gordon is not bad choice this week also
Yeah, I
at
I would,
4.7.
yeah, I would like a stronger Leicester attacking asset like Madison or Barnes in there.
Yeah, so maybe over Kulusevski if we have the
Yeah,
money.
maybe over Kulusevski. Yeah, that's right.
Right? So we go to the captain pick this week. Definitely a lot of manager has eye for Salah, man, because firstly, Liverpool on top form. Salah has been rested before the Champions League. Also, we expect Salah to play both game. He's at 50% voting of managers to play him. The next one is KDB. We do have Man City. I think he's the most secured in terms of minutes. At least on paper, Man City have favorable matchup on this double game week. And then Sun, I think these are the top three players for this week. If Sun on form, but the fixture are tough. Okay, so we see there Salah Liverpool versus Spurs this first game, and then Villa away. Man City for KDB have Newcastle at home and Wolves away, and very favorable for Sun. Okay, he's on form, but Liverpool and Arsenal. So what do you think, Min? Is managers right to pick Salah this week?
Uh, hard not to go against him. Um, I think one thing will help to secure his golden boot. But the fact that he was rested last game week, he was benched last game week, so he's had that rest, and he definitely plays to both matches. I can't see him not playing. It's now a must win. Um,
Yep.
if they wanted to rest him, it might be in the really last game week 38, maybe, if they wanted to rest him again. But I would think it's more of a minutes management now. Yeah, play starts, plays, get subbed off towards the end. Yeah, to rest him and avoid further injuries. Yeah, and against Spurs, definitely there's no reason that Salah doesn't start. So
Yep. Yep.
in terms of captaincy, yep. So that means in terms of captaincy, yeah, I'll back him for the captaincy. I'm probably not going to move or go rogue again. I'm probably captain Salah as well.
Yep. Yep. I think Salah is the safe pick for this week. Definitely, a lot of managers are captaining him. But if you are going for a different one, a risky one, KDB could be the one. I think I have a glance. He's still at 10% ownership. A lot of managers are not having him. He could start both game and favorable game. So we know KDB has a big haul. He's capable of that. So he could be the risky pick. In terms of Sun, I think it's a no, but I don't know. Sun really on form now. He could actually score against Liverpool and
Yeah.
also Arsenal. I mean, so it's a
All
tough
right.
one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And here's something from Sanki, who mentioned that, you know, uh, reminds us about the FA Cup final, which is next weekend.
Yep,
So Salah might get only 190 minutes. Yeah, I mean, in terms of 90 minutes, yes, I agree. Yeah, but in terms of starting, I still think
yep. I think
Salah
he's
will
start both.
start both matches. I don't think it's a heavy risk. And the funny thing is, now that the FA Cup final doesn't look as tough as it used to, because Chelsea are looking really bad at the moment. Yeah,
Yep.
but of course that doesn't mean Klopp will underestimate Chelsea. But where Salah is concerned, yeah, he'll probably play 190 minutes and get subbed off like 60, 70 in the next one.
I
Most
think
likely against Villa.
I feel he will start both games. Definitely,
Yeah,
mean. They
no
need
issues.
him. Liverpool need to win all their games just to compete with Man City. Okay, in
Yeah,
terms of league.
yeah.
So I feel,
Thanks for highlighting that, Sanki.
yeah, I feel he will play both game. It's just whether you want to captain him or not. Okay, if you want safe pick, it's definitely Salah. If you want others, then KDB and San could offer a differential pick. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the team pick, man. Your bench boosting this game. Please walk through your team.
Yeah. So I have 14 double gamers, and I guess I'm probably moving up to 15 with Sally Mitchell, who didn't play last week, and I'm not sure. So that means I'm not sure in game week 37, although Palace do double. Uh, I'm not sure whether or not
In terms
Mitchell will
of
be.
chips, you only have BB left, right?
Yeah, I only have the bench boost there. I've
You
already
did.
activated.
Yeah.
So just a reminder for those of you who have 15 double gamers, this week, please activate your bench boost now. No point waiting till towards the end. If suddenly something happens at the last 10 minutes, you just activate it. And the thing with the bench boost is, unlike the free hit, you can always deactivate it. Whereas with the free hit, if you deactivate it, it means you'll burn your transfers. But for bench boost, no issues. Just activate it. So that's the quick reminder, because I've known people who've forgotten, and then they've screwed the points on the bench. So Schmeichel, Cancelo, TA, Cash, pretty happy with that backline, and the backline. Then you have James and Mitchell. So Mitchell is probably going to go for Fofana. So it's a cheap asset. Leicester playing at home 2 matches. So I like the look of that, even though
I
they
like that too. Yeah.
they tired from the Europa conference, but it should still be fine. Then in the midfield, you got Mount, Jota, Salah, Coutinho, Havertz. Okay, so I've got the captaincy on Havertz. I'm changing that to Salah because Coutinho has just been poor in terms of FPL wise. But I'm confident he'll continue to start, especially with Ramsey out as well. So the midfield, I think Villa will still try to finish strongly. So Mount, I think he should still start. So it's just that question on Havertz. So Havertz may go. If I fancy taking a punt, it'll be for Rafinha. Um, Otherwise, or I'm not sure yet. Um, there was one other option I was considering, maybe
You're thinking about Madison, right?
yeah, Madison or Barnes. Yeah. So if I wanted to go for a great, a more solid option, it'd be Barnes or Madison. But if I'm looking for personal motivation, if Rafinha, you know, uh,
Who?
could be a punt. But I basically boiled it down to them: Rafinha, Barnes, or Madison to replace Havertz. We don't know. I'm replacing Havertz. That's almost a confirmed thing. Um, I have two transfers actually. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So I didn't. So I can move the
Okay.
Mitchell and have
All right.
uh,
Good.
yeah. No, and I honestly, the thing is, I'm veering towards Leicester simply because Leicester have double games in 37 as well. So that's why
Yeah.
if I want to maximize,
There's a logic on that. Yeah.
yeah, because I don't see any Villa assets I want. Because I have a space for one more asset, and Villa also uh, double both in 36, 37. I don't have any Everton midfield assets I want either. Yeah, Everton really is only Richarlison, and
Yeah.
so no,
Yeah.
not for this week. So that's it. So I'm playing everyone: Pookie and Ketia, Dennis. I think it all should play. I don't know if I can't see Dennis
Yeah. Yeah.
being rotated. Yeah, and I don't see Pookie being rotated either.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like your lineup. Definitely. Yeah. The forwards lineup, Puki, Nikitia, Dennis.
Yeah.
I love to have them. If
If
I
there's
start
one if there's one player there at risk, I'm have a bit concerned of is Foster, because Watford just haven't
Spurs
been
could
doing
play, right?
well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm just worried that he may be benched if Watford feel that they need to make changes. Yeah, but
Okay.
it is what it is. So I'll just have to leave it.
So I like the move Michel to Fofana, like you mentioned. He's definitely a bit lower than Michel, 4.3, K 4.5 bracket. Harvard's move to Madison Obans also I like. But do you open to you have money for Foden, right? He's same price for Harvard's.
Is
But
he?
yeah, Foden around 7.9, 7.8. So you can have another City player. Although Foden minutes is something that we are not sure. But if because you're thinking of Madison because you do not have any chips anymore, Leicester do double again. I think there's a logic there that if you bring in Leicester asset because you can actually play them next week also.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
You're
like
right.
that. I like that.
Yeah, you're right. I can still afford Foden, but I don't think I'm gonna go down that route. I will probably go for Barnes, Madison, or Rafinha, but and it will also give me a bit more money if I need to spend for Game Week 37.
Yeah, yeah. If you ask me, I like in terms of ranking, Madison one, Barnes two, Rafinha three. If I may say
Okay.
lah, that's okay.
Okay.
All right. Good luck on your batch boost this game week. Let's go to my team. Okay. So I have one chip left, which is free hit. I'm not gonna free hit this week because I have two transfer main. Like you, we keep our transfer. For this game week, I have almost everyone playing double. Is others than my bench. Ramsdale in goal. Then TA, Cancelo, James, and White. White is on yellow flag. We are not sure whether he play both game. Okay. We'll see. We'll see whether he starts this week. I have Saka, Mount, Havertz, Salah, and Gordon in midfield, and then Kane up front. So currently captain Salah, but that could easily change with my transfer.
Hmm.
So I have two transfer. I'm easy to get out. I think Havertz is rotation race. He could actually be rested. He could play only one game a week. We are not sure. I'm more in terms of minutes. I think I'm more keeping Mount over Havertz. Okay, and then Kane could be the fun for me this week, man. I think we are actually at ranking 250, 240,000.
Yeah.
If we want to move further up on the table, we need to be differential, right, man? So
Yes.
this is what I'm thinking. I have two options, man. Okay, see whether which one that you favor. I could do first one, Kane and Harvest out for KDB and Jesus. Like you mentioned, Jesus on top transfer this week. Okay. So Jesus at 10%, KDB at 10%, somewhere there. So very differential. If I make that move, I have three Man City asset which has favorable matchup this week. The other option is Kane and Harvard still out, okay, but for KDB and Richarlison. And then I have some money to take up White for Laporte. And I have three Man City asset, two backline, one in midfield, and then Richarlison. So I take -4 for that. So what do you think, man? Which road should I go?
It's a tough one, isn't it?
But both pick, I will have KDB in my team.
Yeah, KDB is the lock in. Uh, I don't think you should take the hit. I think Jesus and KDB are the ones that work. I'm not just talking because I'm biased for towards Everton, but I think you should just stick with White and push with KDB and
Jesus. Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah, yeah.
Do you think Jesus will start, man?
Pardon?
Do you think Jesus will start?
Yes, I do. He was subbed off in the Champions League, and he is one of City's form players. So he definitely I can see him starting both matches. And actually I
Do
can
you
see
think
both.
he will start both matches
Yep.
against Wolves also in midweek?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Uh,
So these are the two options. Laporte maybe in terms of minutes is more secured. Man City has the chance to clean sheet in a row. He could easily get 12 points this week. And Richarlison, yeah, against Leicester and Watford is another option. A lot of managers are bringing him in. But I do fancy Jesus also. He could be on form. He actually scored last game and get 8 points. And then before that, we know four goals and one assist, 24 points, something like that.
yeah.
So that I am going risky this week. Definitely, those are the option. And man, I will captain KDB this week. I think I want to go different.
Yeah.
Hopefully Salah won't explode so much, but KDB do haul. So I think I will do that.
Yeah. And Everton play away, right?
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Yeah. So and Everton away aren't that great. They do seem to rely on the crowd to really push them in the past few. So I'm gonna say yeah I'm gonna yeah I definitely favor your first option over the second one.
Okay, man. I think I might do that later. I will decide. So we are coming at the end of our stream, man. But let's go through some questions. There are a lot of questions here. I'll pop up this one first, man. Okay, from Racket FPL. Okay, Sun has a good record against Arsenal and KDB got off early versus Real Madrid. Something not right. He's more on tactical, like we mentioned before. Which one to buy in free hit, man? KDB or Sun?
That's a hard question. Gosh, so meaning that you only have space for one, right? Otherwise, I tell
Yeah,
you to
if
pick
I can
both.
have space for both, definitely I'll play both, man.
In terms of opponent quality for both matches, then it's definitely KDB, isn't it? Because KDB are playing Newcastle. Okay, Newcastle are hard, but KDB is at home in that match.
Yeah.
Whereas and their second match is against Wolves, who have been bad. Yeah. By contrast, Spurs play Liverpool, uh, who are definitely hot at the moment, and they also play. Who do they play again? Arsenal. Yeah. So of course,
Yeah.
Arsenal is that London derby, so anything happen. But Arsenal are also in good form themselves. They've been doing well.
But
Uh,
Sun also on form, really on form
yeah,
last
but
week.
Sun
From last
at the
week,
same time
19
Sun is
points.
on form. Yeah, but the match against Liverpool might, if he blanks, then he may be considered off form again. So so heading into the North London derby, um, I would go for KDB. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm go for KDB.
I think so. But if let's say I can fit both, I would definitely fit both. But if one of them, I think JDB is the one. Let's go to the next question, which is which one? James that could play only one game or Laporte that secure two starts? I'll go for Laporte, man. Definitely,
I'll go for
without a doubt.
Laporte as well. I have James, but we've seen him being benched
Yeah.
if
I think this is easy answer. We go next one with Robo benching rumors flying around. Keep or sell him on free hit. On free hit, do you play Robertson?
sell
I don't think so.
sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sell him. Yeah, for a free hit sell. There's plenty of other
Okay.
options that you
All
can
right.
take.
Good. Zaha is one of my asset that keep returning. Keep or sell him for double game week player. I think
Keep.
you keep, but I will pick a different player for double game week. It could be Madison, it could be Barnes, it could be Mount. I don't know. That's my pick.
Yeah, I feel like you should keep him because I think he's trying to put himself on a short window, and he is playing Watford, so he can really haul against Watford.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Next one, Richardson, one yellow card from suspension. Is it risky to bring him? I will bring him regardless. I don't think this yellow card is thing. I read somewhere it's no more suspension.
Oh, I'm not sure about this one.
Ah, yeah. In terms
But
of
yeah,
suspension, I read it. There is no more suspension.
but
So he
I
will.
wouldn't bring him in simply because Everton played two away. So yeah, it's a bit hard.
Okay, all right. But the traffic says a lot of managers bring him in. So rakyat FPL is depend on you. Leicester and Watford away. Everton not so much good form in terms of away. That's a concern. Okay.
Yep.
Watkins to Richarlison. Watkins do double. Burnley level Liverpool. His
No.
minutes more secure. I don't know. What do you think, man?
No, keep. Don't know
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Watkins is in good form. So why? I mean, of course, Richarlison is as well, but I think Watkins has doubles. It
yeah,
already has doubles in 30-67. So keep.
yeah. Keep. All right. Sanker definitely he will score against Arsenal. Kulu versus Tavares. This is where they create. Son and Kane looks like a must-have. Son and Kane is a must-have this week, man?
Uh, I don't know if it's a must-have. I mean, if you already have them, yeah, keep. You might think about keeping them because they do double. They do have a double, but I can't see myself spending so much in Spurs assets just for this week.
Yeah. All right. Rakan FPSA single game week player better, Zaha or Bowen? Maybe on paper, but I still favor the double game week. I don't know about you, man.
Zaha, because Bowen is away and they are still coming off a Europe match, whereas Palace are rested. So Watford are toast.
All right. You consider any single game week, man? Gallagher or
No,
Bowen?
no.
Okay.
I'd be wary about Gallagher because he hasn't returned in for so long now. I don't know if it has to do his role, being further back. But if you wanted Palace, then it'd be Zaha. But no, not Bowen.
All right. Last, Mount is due for rest. I'm not too sure, man. I think Mount
Yeah,
could start one game and maybe play some minutes against Leeds.
yeah. So this is a issue here. Yeah, but I think if they do bench Havertz, I can't see Mount being rested as well. Yeah, but you were right that he has been played, but yeah, he's just been unlucky compared to Havertz, who's been poor. So I think that Mount should continue to start.
All right, we come to the end of the stream. Remember, managers, LPM managers, our deadline will be at 8:30 p.m. You have more time now because all matches start at 10 p.m. Okay, so they remind on that deadline. Okay, if you are here around in our stream, do like our video, hit the like button, and subscribe to our FPL Jedi show to receive all the early notification whenever we are live, man. So, what's your last word, man?
thanks everyone who tuned in this morning. And if you off for Hari Raya, go ahead and have your Hari Raya open houses. And all the best. Hopefully, your ampao will come in the form of FPL points.
Yes, please.
Selamat Hari
I have
Raya.
like 5-6 red arrow. I hope this week I can have some green arrows. Okay, mean at least into the 100,000 mark.
Puasa.
Yeah. So good luck to you, man. Okay. All the best to
Okay, you
all,
too.
whether you're bench boosting or free hitting this week. May the force be with you. Stay safe. Bye bye.
Bye.